Hi everyone, I'm Lisa,
And I'm Jenny.
and
And
we're the
we're the
Shade
Shade
Tree
Tree
Stitches
Stitches.
coming to you in stereo lag as usual from our two different homes. Um, sorry, moving around
Whoa.
make you feel sick. Yeah, sorry about that. I just had to move my knees. You're on my lap because I need to show you pictures today. And anyway, we are here to talk about cross stitch, and in particular, what you have to motivate you in October. Can you believe it's October already, Jenny?
Uh,
So much that can motivate you in October. In Whip Warriors, it is Knock It Over. Knock It Over is a chance for you to get your whips finished. Do you have any that are heading for a finish, Jenny?
I do. My little small from the 2022 Daisy Chain
Mhm.
retreat that I was working on a couple of weekends ago at that retreat. Um, yeah, I've just got one little side bit, and a little bit of back stitch. So
Awesome.
it is a bit fiddly because I have to keep change like the colors are too far apart to carry the threads, so I have to keep stopping and starting. But and it's all variegated threads, so one stitch at a time, not a row of half crosses and then come back and finish the row going the other way.
Awesome.
But that's okay. But yes, it's getting there.
And it will be Knock It Over. That's a good goal.
Yes.
I don't have, I have two model stitches that will be Knock It Over. I have a couple of other pieces that I would like to try and get Knock It Over. So they're the ones I'm going to be focusing on. So you'll see them as we talk through the prompts and things. But
Mhm.
yeah, so I wanted to try and do them. The second part of Knock It Over is you can FFO, and so you have to put a code word on for FFOing
Mhm.
because we don't want you to, FFO things you've already FFO'd. But you don't
True.
have to have finished the whip like now. You could have finished it 3 years ago. We don't care. It's the
Yes.
FFOing. So there's two sort of different things running for participation.
Yes.
And
Well,
remember, you.
I've got one for that too. Because
Mhm.
now that I've done the small for the daisy chain retreat, I've got my version of that same piece that was finished 3 years ago. But now that I've done that finish, like the
Mm,
pinwheel-esque finish,
yeah,
um, I can do the same on mine.
that was really good. It looked great with the wattle.
Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, so I've got more of that wattle trim to do on my one. I just have to
Awesome.
pick a different background, like a different backing fabric for it.
Fantastic. Well, I have got a lot to FFO and I'm thinking
Oh,
about.
and two needle rolls that all the
Mhm.
stitching's done, and one of them I've even pinned it already. I just need to do the stitching because those they're so easy. Like the instructions to assemble them come with the kit. So yeah, need to get them done.
Fair enough. Well, I have plenty that I can FFO, and I'm going to be crazy and probably try and organise an FFO-a-thon weekend where
Oh
my
yes.
my friends can come up and stay. I think Dave might be away one weekend this month, so that would be a good weekend to do that. Anyway, we'll see about that. Okay, so that's Knock It Over.
Yeah.
Now we have got our usual events happening in Whip Warrior, so let's start with the categories.
Yes.
And it is the last of the regular category letters, which is the letter M.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Mm,
That yes,
yes.
yes.
Hold
Okay.
on.
Hmm.
Okay, so first one is plant or animal.
Um. Oh, I know. I could do my Beatrix Potter because it has mouse,
A
a very
mouse.
tiny, oops, little mouse right there.
Yes, hard with
Which,
your
hang on, if I, no, no, no. It's putting me in focus and anyway, yes, but yes, yeah, there, on the circle in the middle, there's a mouse. That's
hmm.
probably going to be the easiest one.
Well,
Um,
I'm going to go for easy two and a piece that I need to work on, which is my Hawk Run Hollow, and I'm quite sure that's a mare.
yes. Yes,
There we go.
absolutely.
I mean, I also have heaps of others on my Amazing Animal Kingdom bookshelf, which I'm meant to have worked on for last month. So, you know, monkey, um, what's another one?
Moose,
Moose. Yeah, so M's a pretty good one for animals.
muskrat. I'm not exactly sure what a muskrat is, but I've heard of it.
Yeah,
Mongoose.
mongoose.
Um,
Anyway,
yeah,
lots of things
there's
for M.
there's there's lots of and that's just the animals, and then you know plants,
Yeah, let's
moss,
heaps of plants.
and
Moss and yeah. Anyway, lots of plants.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
The second category I have to keep looking
yeah,
is something you'd find in water. Now you just said moss.
yes.
Something I would find near water based on the ones I have to stitch on.
Hmm.
Mollusks comes to mind,
Yes, yes.
but I don't have any mollusks. Mozzies,
Hmm.
but I don't have
Yes.
any mozzies.
No.
But remember, you don't have to do all the categories. You get a participation point, I think, for doing two or three of them.
Mm.
So you get a thread for doing two or three.
Yeah.
I Yeah, I don't have anything jumping to mind for that.
Um, you could potentially get away with a water mill
Oh yeah, that's true.
if
That's
you
near
had
water.
one of the ones with like a water wheel or something.
Well, I do have a water mill, so but
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
in your
in my fairy
fairy
tale
tale.
village. Yeah, there's a water
Yes.
mill there, and also in Macintosh Mill. So I have two mills in my repertoire, but
Hmm.
are they the pieces that I want to finish? Macintosh Mill. I
Hmm.
did talk about maybe finishing that this year, so maybe that will twist it into the list. I don't know. I hadn't really remembered that
And that
one.
one is fairly like it's not confetti-ish much. It's
It's
block.
blocky, and I'm
Yeah.
at least two-thirds of the way through it. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Um,
I would imagine there's probably not a whole lot of backstitch in that, if any.
there's some, but it's not too
Yeah.
painful. So
No,
it's
no.
possible that I could think about that.
Hmm.
All right, color. I've got mauve.
Just a little bit.
Remember, for the color, you have to show a picture of the name, either the DMC name or on the chart that it says mauve or
Yes.
maroon. Um,
Yes.
anything that's
Mid
medium,
anything. Medium, mid.
medium,
Yep. Yep.
anything.
Yep. You get lots of those.
Midnight blue.
Yes.
So lots of colours. Do any of those colours jump out as fast to you as my mauve did to me?
I'd have to check the names on the patterns, but I'm pretty sure I've got some mids. Hang on. Let me
I'm sure you do. We don't need to worry about it. It's all good.
no. Yeah.
All right, let's move along. We've
Yes.
got something to do with humans, and I'm going to be really obvious and go, man,
Mouth.
mouth.
Um,
You got any mouths?
yeah, well, yeah, I've got people.
Yeah.
But do they, oh, hang on.
Do they have
That's a good-
mouths?
Do they actually have faces?
Yeah, it says something for you.
Because,
Um,
yeah, no, Cross Stitch Nation, they have blank faces, so they don't have
mm.
any mouths. Um,
A mother would be another one.
yes,
A matron,
yes. Mates.
mates.
So
Um,
I could do my Little House Neighborhood because it's got the two of us and we're mates.
yes, you could.
Or,
Or
or
maidens.
if you maidens, yes. Or if you've got one of the Adam and Eve ones,
Mm,
they
they're
are
mates.
different kind of mate.
Or raining love, the two people, almost kissing in the middle is mates. You could also do, oh, just have one, like a minor, jobs, mailman,
Yes, yes,
those sorts of things.
yes,
All right, well, Jenny's looking for a mouth, but she's got maidens in Little House
yes,
Neighborhood.
yeah.
Something man-made.
Hmm.
I'm just thinking, um, I've got mosque.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know why mosque is jumping in my head. I've been watching a train show in India. Um,
Module, but I don't know what.
I'm
um,
trying to see what I can do. I mean, I've got quilts,
anything metal?
metal, but it's have to be metal something. Um, Oh, I've got it. I don't know if she'd accept it. Would she accept a maison in
Or
French?
well, on that, I could do monolith because I've got my Eiffel Tower. That's a monolith of sorts.
I'm not, yeah, that
No,
is
no, monument. It's a monument.
monument. That's man-made.
I'm
Um,
not, I know I'm not showing you the actual piece, but yeah.
there
Yes.
could potentially be a macaron on there.
Yes. Yes. Or a
Um,
meringue.
there'd be a meringue, definitely.
Yes.
So, yep, there's some man-made things for you.
Yes.
Travel, motoring,
Motorbike,
motor
motor
car,
car.
motor vehicle,
Yeah.
meandering.
Yes.
So if you had a,
Anything that you could say shows motion, I would say.
oh yes, motion,
So
movement.
yeah, yeah. So hot air balloons, or it's um, or if you've got, I don't know, a plane or a car or something, and you can sort of like if
Yeah,
there is
I'm just trying to
some,
find a picture. So I could do my motion on this one. I don't know if you can see the horse and cart moving across the
mm,
bridge.
yeah,
So
because the horse has got his leg up, so he's obviously
and
mid stride.
and I could definitely use that one for mansion.
Mansion, yes,
Hmm.
yes, that's
Okay.
probably more acceptable than maison.
Yeah, but anyway. Okay, season.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to go to Dr. Google. Season or celebration? Um,
Well, if we're talking like, so if it's a celebration, could we do Mother's Day, maybe?
yes, that would be a good one. Mother's
If there's
Day,
something that's obviously got a mother and
mother.
children.
Well, I could probably do my lavender farm because the child could be getting a plant of lavender to give to her mum for a gift for Mother's Day.
Yep. Memorial Day,
Memorial Day,
if you've
yep.
got one of the sort of patriotic pieces.
Mm.
I know that's more for the Americans than for us, but
All right. Something that's your favorite. Now, many
hmm.
of the things we've talked about already could count.
Yes. Yeah.
Meringues are my favorite dessert. But I have another wit that actually is number one that needs to get finished, and that is good old
Ah,
Savannah's
Savannah.
curtsy. And
Yes.
so I think I'd be going the maiden
Yes.
for that one because I need to
Yes.
get her, get her done. So
Yeah.
yeah, lots of things you could chuck into there. Leisure,
Mm.
if you've got someone mowing the lawn, maybe meandering the stroll, the meandering if
Yep.
you don't use that for travel,
Yep.
milling about
Yep.
with your mates.
Yep.
I'm not having any luck with trying to fit Savannah into that one.
No.
Um,
Although she is moving because she's curtsying.
yeah, what about meeting friends?
Yes.
Um, so yeah, that could possibly.
That wouldn't work for Savannah because there's
No,
no
no,
one else in the piece.
no, but I'm
But,
just
but
thinking
yes, as yes. So my little house neighborhood could fit for that. Yes.
there's a meeting of people to pick
Yes.
berries.
Yes.
Um, okay, mythical or iconic.
If you've got any sort of King Arthur ones with Merlin,
Oh yeah.
anything with a monster, and given that it's
Oh,
October and people will be doing spooky stitching, that's
monster. What about just magic?
yes,
So anything like that, you can make it
yeah,
fit to that.
yeah, and it would fit in with Halloween stitching too for those that do that.
Yes, definitely. Okay, a designer starting with M. I have got that. Marilyn Levitt, whatever. I can't see what you're doing.
Mill Hill.
Mill Hill, there you go. We've both got designers with M quite easily. And a pattern.
Hang on, I've got to check pattern names.
I'm reading them. Oh, well, it looks like I'm going to have to do this one. Macintosh Mill. Because Macintosh Mill is starting with two M's. I wonder if I get bonus for having the alliteration in this group. I don't know. So Macintosh Mill, yeah.
I don't have one. None of mine start with M. No, but that's okay because I've got, yeah, as you said, we don't have to do them all.
We don't, but there you go. We've given you answers for all of them. Now there will be a word game happening this month. Obviously the Strident Cell, the Focus event, and the Beat the Mod Min, which is seriously the easiest thing to participate in. That's the events that are happening as well as Knock It Over. But there is another event. I was a bit crazy and I decided to do a motivational event. Originally, I was planning it to go with Australian Survivor, which hasn't started yet. But then we realised that American Survivor's just started and it only runs one day a week. So what we're doing is we are running a game, a motivational game, and feel free to jump in and play along if you want. You set your own goal of how many stitches. At the moment, there's three tribes. So you've got 3 whips to work on. And whenever one of the tribes wins immunity, you do your goal for that, which for me is 300 stitches. If they win reward, you do your goal for that, which is, I think, 300 stitches for me. And if they're the tribe, that goes to tribal council, well, it's not the tribe, it's an actual person, 500 stitches on a whip that you've assigned to them. You can assign all your whips up front. You can use just those 3 whips, but you do need 3 whips to play. Otherwise, I suppose you could do 1 whip, but different stitch count goals if you're a monogamous stitcher. But you just commit to what you're going to do. And the idea is that by the time the next Survivor episode has aired, which is Wednesday night in American time, you should have done your stitching from the previous week on those pieces.
Right.
So I am currently working on a model for one team, Savannah's Curtsy for another team, and Lavender Farm for the third team. So that's where I'm at. And I tipped in because we'd already had one person evicted before we started playing. I put stitching on one of my one of the other models I have to finish for that. So yeah, so it's a cool way to do it. So if you're interested, then join in if you're in Whip Warriors. All right, let's go to.
Hang on, isn't there also the scary
and silly happening? Yeah, sorry, silly me.
Well, when you started saying about being a bit crazy, I thought that's the one you were going to talk about.
No. Full coverage event, scary or silly, is happening. The scary or silly event is just for full coverage stitches, and you either stitch on your scariest one or your silliest. You just got to say what you're doing. It double dips with everything, and basically for every 1,000 stitches, you get 2 threads. So pull out your full coverage if you're a full coverage stitcher and work on something that's scary or silly. If you can explain why it is, Natasha will accept it.
Well, I think if I was going to do that, if I was going to do the scary, that would be my Stitch in Time giant one.
Yes.
If I was going to do the silly, it's my other technically full coverage, my little tiny Portrait of Antique Vines, because it's silly because yes, it's a full coverage, but it's only about this big.
Well, you are correct there. So just so in case anyone doesn't know, that would be my scariest too because it's huge.
Yep.
And it's been called for Whip Go this month. and my silliest would have to be the other Whip Go call because Santa's landing on the roof and
Yeah.
So there you go. That would be my scary or silly. Should I get to my Whip Go goals, I've just got to decide what's the priority this month and go with that. All right, what's happening let's do semi-sane first.
Okay. So semi-sane, so there, this or that for October is Black or Crescents. So yeah, that's always quite easy. And yeah, obviously they're sort of going with the Halloweeny kind of thing. And then they've got their usual, the focus challenge, the yearly goals, and the 24 and 24. So that's all they've got on. Now, there may be other pop-up games that happen, but they're not started yet.
No.
Because
Okay.
sometimes they have like Go Fish and things like that.
All right. What that'll take us to, is that all there is in
Yep.
semi-sane?
Yep.
All right, let's go to the September I Spy. I don't want September, I want October. But I'm in the October I Spy, but she's written September I Spy on the top. So it's all good. Okay, these ones you do whatever you want. This is for Stitching by the Shore with the lovely
Yep.
Laura. She does give a good rundown on her video now as well. So something with a pumpkin. Well, I can tell you my model stitch has a pumpkin.
I'm not sure I have anything with a pumpkin.
No, I got no pumpkins coming to mind for you. Something that starts with the letter O. Again, you don't have to do them all. An open door,
Mm.
open fire, origami something, old old lady, old
Okay.
man,
All right, then old house.
old house.
Old house.
Old house, there you go. She's got an
Yes,
old
yes.
house. I don't have anything. Well, I suppose,
Because
yeah,
it's a Queen Anne Victorian, so it's old.
I have the old lady sitting on the door of the mill if I decide to keep going with the mill.
Yes.
Something that is a treat to stitch. So any piece you enjoy stitching would fit into that.
Yep.
Something that's tricky to stitch. We already said our stitch and time. It's so big.
Well, yes, but also if I was going to do more of my reflections of Paris, because I'm in the middle, so I'm stitching in metallic thread. That's
Hmm.
always a bit tricky.
That would be tricky. Something you'd see at a birthday party. I would see yummy food. And that would count for the next one, leaves as well.
Hmm. So for me, probably strawberry fields, because sometimes you might see fruit, strawberries at a birthday party, and that would also fit for leaves, because there's leaves on that too.
Yes, well, I need to be focusing on the ones I want to finish, which is this one. So it's got leaves, but
Yep.
it also has the next one of a bumpy texture
Oh,
because the roof would be bumpy.
yes.
The leaves on the berries would be bumpy.
Mm.
So
Bumpy texture.
I
Mm.
know, that could be almost anything.
Anything with the tree, because the bark, the
Yep,
tree, the trunk of the tree.
yep,
Um,
exactly. Something spooky
mm,
if I was stitching on it or
well,
I
yes,
leave.
yes. I don't really have anything.
Um,
Unless I was really going to stretch it and do my Beatrix Potter and say animals with clothes on is a bit spooky.
mm,
Because
that's possible.
people put Halloween costumes on their pets as
They
well.
do, they do. Well, you could tie that into something you see in a TV show you watch, but you could also include a floss tube if someone's stitching on the exact same whip as you.
Ooh.
And the last one is purple. Well, we know what mine would be for purple, so I haven't looked at these, so that's pretty cool.
Yep, yep. Well, I've got several that have got purple bits in them, so
All right,
yep.
let's move on to what do you want to do next, Jenny?
Well, there's only one thing for pop culture,
Yeah.
which is they've got an October acrostic. Lots of movies being released now. Select your favorite spooky or haunted movie or book and use the title as your acrostic. Oh, sorry. Oh, pattern name or designer for each letter.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's a fairly easy one to do.
And that flips me across to the Daily 30. We actually, because we're filming on the evening of the second tonight, we had time to get all the events today. And that is Black Cat Tober. So same thing, something you fit in with the whip or the designer.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a great fan of acrostics. Some people love them. I don't really,
Well, I
but
guess because it's quite flexible. Like you can
mm,
yeah, you can pick and choose. It's not as like because some of the other things, for example, the bumpy texture, it's quite specific. But with the acrostic, when you've just got to match either your pattern name or your designer, it gives you a fair bit of flexibility.
Yeah.
Only problem is if there's a word, if it's words with lots of duplicate letters, then you've got to
Mm.
try and find something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so then down under divas.
Yes, which is what
So,
actually drives me. I need to write these down so
okay,
while
okay, all
Jenny's
right.
talking.
So
Otherwise,
this month we're questing through space to Pluto.
Pluto. Okay.
Pluto. Okay, so the first one. Pluto is the only place other than Earth to have white peaked mountains. These white caps are made of methane frost instead of snow. Stitch 2,000 stitches on a piece with a mountain.
Wow.
I think for me it would have to be my castle sampler. That's the only one that I can think of that has anything even like the oops. The castle is sort of on like on a bit of a mountain.
I think you could get away with that one. I don't think I have anything with a mountain, so that's good because I don't want to be spending 2,000 stitches on it. So
Okay.
no worries. Next.
Uh, Venetia Burney, an 11-year-old English girl, was responsible for the naming of Pluto. Oh, you'll like this one. Oh, except you probably don't have 2,000 stitches left. Stitch 2,000 stitches on a piece with a girl.
I do have 2,000 stitches left, and I've got it's not the one you're thinking
On
of.
Savannah.
No, not on Savannah, but Lavender Farm has a little girl in it.
Ah, okay.
So there we are, 2,000 with a girl. No, I don't have 2,000 stitches left on
On Savannah.
Savannah.
No. Okay. Oh, the next one. Pluto is 1/3 water. Stitch 1,000 stitches on a piece you have completed at least 1/3 of.
Well, again, I'm not sure I have 1,000 stitches left on Savannah.
No, but you could do that on anything. Macintosh Mill, if you're going to be working on
Yeah.
that. You know,
So
anything, it just has to be more than 1/3, which like that certainly gives you lots of options.
yeah, well,
Me, not so much.
any of the ones I'm trying to finish, which for the people who want to know, Savannah's Curtsy, potentially Lavender Farm, my model,
Mm,
um, Blueberry Homecoming, and then we're throwing Macintosh Mill in the mix just to make it tricky for me.
yeah. But yeah, so for me, Peace with a Girl would probably, well, would either be Cross Stitch Nation or
Hmm.
Little House Neighborhood.
Mhm.
Um, a piece I've completed at least 1/3 of.
Both of them are fine.
Yes, possibly. Yes, I would say so. Because yes,
Or
Little House Neighborhood, I've almost done the bottom section, and yes,
yep,
yeah, yeah, that could work.
and Reflections of Paris, you've done more than a third.
Yes, yes. Okay. Pluto has a heart-shaped glacier on its surface. Stitch 1,000 pieces on. Bleh, I keep doing that when I say this one. 1,000 stitches on a piece with a heart.
Okay, and she's always very fussy about, and which is fine. It can't be a person who has a heart. You've got to
Right.
actually have a heart in your piece, and I don't think I do.
No, I'm not sure I do either.
I think I do somewhere, but
Oh, well, I have a heart-shaped piece. Would that count if the whole thing itself?
I think that would count. I think that would count
So
your ornament. Yes.
my ornaments, where are they? Oh, come on, turn sideways. There we go. So I'm currently stitching the purple one at the bottom, which is heart-shaped.
Yep, there you go. I think that would be worth trying if you wanted to, Jenny.
Yep. Okay. Oops. All right. Back to the list. Next one. Pluto led scientists to discover the third zone in our solar system, which is a vast realm of ice worlds. Stitch 1,000 stitches on your third oldest whip.
Oh gosh, third oldest.
Hmm.
Well, I know my oldest. That would be my second oldest.
I'd have to look at dates because I'm not sure.
Look, mine would be probably Blueberry So that works.
Yeah. Mine would possibly be, might be Beatrix Potter. I don't know. I'd have to look at
Hmm.
dates. I
Oh well.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't necessarily know your third oldest top of your head.
No. No. Okay. Pluto lies in Kuiper. I don't know. Kuiper. Kuiper belt, a mass of objects that orbit the sun beyond Neptune. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with a belt.
Hmm. I don't think my little man in Lavender Farm. Let's see, is he wearing a belt? Well, he's wearing suspenders, but that's not a belt. He's wearing like braces. Oh, you got a
And
belt.
yes, Cross Stitch Nation, several of the dresses have a belt. I mean, it
Yeah.
might technically be a sash, not a belt, but hey, it's so small you can't really tell.
No, fair enough.
I reckon I could explain that.
Dudley wants to come up. You have to wait, mate. You can come up soon. I'm busy. My lap's full. I'm filming. Sorry, mate. He says, but I want to come up now.
Mm.
You have to wait, Dudley. Don't give me those sad eyes. All right, let's keep going. Dudley's
Okay.
upset.
Although thought to be the ninth planet since its discovery in 1930, Pluto has recently been reclassified as a dwarf planet. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with a dwarf.
All right, I'm pretty sure the little guy, he's a dwarf.
He does look a bit,
He does look a bit like a dwarf.
yep. I Well, unless I tried to make out that one of the Beatrix Potter people, like maybe Mrs. Tiggy Winkle,
Yeah, you could try that.
because she's a bit sort of
Yeah.
she's shorter than average.
Yeah.
Okay. Pluto is named after the Roman god of the underworld. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece you can relate to the underworld.
I don't think I can relate anything other than my All Hallows Eve that I don't really want
Yeah.
to work on. So,
Yeah, I don't think I've got anything either. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this one's easier. Disney's Pluto the dog was named after the former planet. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with a dog.
you say that like it's easy.
Does Macintosh Mill have?
Well, that's where I'm looking. I'm going to have a look at
I
Macintosh
mean,
Mill.
having said that, I don't think I've got any pieces with a dog.
Yes, well, I don't know. I guess it's a dog. Could be a sheep.
Yeah, but doesn't it looks like he's got it on a
Oh, it's
leash?
definitely on a lead.
Yeah,
So
you're not going to have a sheep. Well, I
we'll
don't
just
know.
we'll just say it's a dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, two to go. Pluto's orbit is oval, not circular. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with an oval.
With an oval shape.
So I got one for that.
Yes, you can have one with that.
My antique vines.
Yes, she is an oval.
She's definitely in an oval.
Yeah. You've got that one. I don't. Moving right along.
Okay. Okay, so the last one is, again, I'm not sure of the pronunciation. Charon. Pluto's largest moon was named for Greek mythology. Charon is the ferryman who transports the dead across the river Acheron to the underworld. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with a boat or something dead.
Okay, a boat or dead. I have boats, but not on the pieces I'm stitching on.
Yeah,
So that's okay.
I don't think I've got anything with a boat.
Um, well, I'm just seeing if there's a boat. Yeah, there is. Fairy Tale Town has got a boat in the water.
Yes. Well, I was thinking I could potentially get away with my antique vines again because quite often you have cameos of
Yes.
people who are no
You
longer with us.
probably wouldn't get away with that. Well, you could try, but she's pretty, as I said, she's pretty strict.
Mhm.
All right, well, that's Down Under Divas.
Yeah.
So that then moves me to fandoms monthly. As I
Yep.
said, we don't normally have all of them. Um, First prompt is Disneyland's Railroad. Stitch 1,000 stitches on a piece with a train. Well, I'm not doing it, but there's my train because I just did the stitches on
Yes.
that last month. So I
Yes.
won't be doing 1,000 stitches on that for a piece with a train.
I don't have anything with a
No.
train.
Centennial Park. Um, Stitch 900 stitches on a piece with a park or a fountain. I can actually do that. Village at Hawkon Hollow has a fountain.
Oh,
So
that's
there we
very
go.
definitely a fountain.
Probably in a park
Um,
too.
Probably the closest I could get would be Little House Neighborhood, that where but there's trees. I mean,
Yeah,
there's trees,
no,
but there's houses, so you're not going to have houses in a park.
no. Again, these are
Um,
meant to be hard. So
yeah,
you can do the next thing. 600 stitches on a piece that has something you can climb, and anything with a tree or a
Little
fence or
House Neighborhood has lots of
exactly.
trees, and they look like they've got good climbing branches too.
They really do, yes. The next one double dips perfectly. Donald's Duck Pond, 700 stitches on a piece with a boat.
Yep,
Chippendale's Gadget Coaster, 800 stitches on a piece that is nutty. So that fits in with your scary or silly idea.
yep.
Mickey's House, 500 stitches using red thread. I could actually do that if I decide to work on that block for Hawk Run,
Yep.
which is
Um,
possible.
well, I've got quite a few. So my bauble tablecloth, some of the baubles are red. Um, if I did some more of deck the halls.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you actually have to stitch in the red?
Yes,
Ah, okay.
yes, 500 stitches in red.
I'd have to move to a different line because where I'm currently up to, I'm not stitching in red, I'm stitching in brown. Oops. So
Yes,
I'd have to move to
you'd
somewhere
have
else,
to
but that
move.
has red in it. Um, You'd think Strawberry Fields, but it's not actually red. They're more sort of pinks than
Mm-hmm.
reds. Um, oh, oh, no. I was gonna say this is Christmas, but there's not a whole lot of red in this either.
No. Well, the next one's Minnie's House, and you've got to do stitches, 400 stitches with lavender or purple thread. So I'm right for that,
Yep,
since I'm actually stitching lavender in Lavender Farm.
yep,
Mickey and Minnie's Runway Railway, 300 stitches on a piece that is unexpected. That covers in with one we talked about earlier. Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, 200 stitches on a private project. So I actually could get away with that with my model.
Mm. Well, I guess that would potentially be either of the pieces I'm doing for my nephews.
Yes, that would be a private project, yeah. Cafe Daisy, 100 stitches on a project with food. So I'd do my Veronica Young Red
Strawberries.
tree. Yep, and you do strawberries. Good Boy Grocers, stitch 300 stitches on a piece that has a dog, tying in beautifully again. And the last one is, okay, this is to do with the train again. Engineer souvenirs. After riding the railways, go to the gift shop. Stitch 300 stitches on a piece that has a hat or a shirt. Well, my Lavender Farm guy, the one who we think's a dwarf, is wearing a shirt and a hat. So
Yep, yep, yep.
there we go.
Basically any. Well, for me, that would probably the best one would be Cross Stitch Nation because most of the people in it are ladies wearing dresses, but there is one guy who's wearing shirt. And I think
Yeah,
he's got a hat as well, from memory.
well, there you go.
Does he? Or am I imagining that? No, no,
Mm,
he's got a hat.
yep. So there he is. Yes, he's wearing a hat in your model in the pattern.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, that's true. I haven't done anybody's heads yet, so I haven't
No,
decided.
well, that's go.
But
Rachel can
yeah,
wear a hat.
Rachel
It's
probably
fine.
isn't going to be wearing a hat. No.
She'd be wearing a baseball cap.
Yeah, but that would involve trying to
I know.
work out how to
I know.
fit that.
Anyway,
No, no.
we all know you're not going to stitch it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just to give the viewers an idea. So
Mhm.
it's good. Have we finished them all?
All the ones that I can think of.
Yay! So that's all the things we know of that we're currently doing to keep you motivated. I
Yep.
just want to finish off with a really quick plug. I have each year I create a online diary to help people get organized with their stitching, and I have got one ready for 20 for next year. I do it with no dates so that you can use them whenever. But then I had this crazy idea to help the Whip Warriors out. So I'm just going to quickly share.
Hmm.
Oops. All right. This is a just the pro forma, and I'm not going to show you it all. The Whip Warriors cross stitch diary. If
Yep.
you're in Whip Warriors or you want to play along, it's got places that for you to keep track of your starts and your finishes on the yearly planner. You've got your monthly stitch goals and counts because you can stitch in time or stitches for most events. So my idea is you put above the month what your goal is, and then at the bottom of the month you see if you achieved it. We do it'll be 25 and 25, so we've got a place for that. It's a black and white calendar. It's just the pictures at the moment are color, and then I've got space for the people who have like 100 whips, couple of pages to put your yearly goals and yearly events. There is a new yearly event coming next year for Whip Warriors, so watch out for that. And you can choose to do it easy, medium, or hard. And there's 100 things in that yearly event, so you'll have to watch for that one. But I've got you the planning check-off page there. Your Whip Go board, because lots of people like to do Whip Go. And then every month you get this shows you, I've actually put the start date. It doesn't have the date, but like the first Thursday of the month.
Hmm.
You focus and beat the Modmin starts. You've got categories that goes all month. You've got a word game, Whip Frenzy, Strident Sal. You've got a space to put your counts for the week and your total for the month. And then your to-do list, I've tried to write out, well, what are the Whip Warriors events that you might want to participate in? Because you need to do 3 threads participation next year. That is the way that you stay active in the group, a minimum of 3 threads participation. So, as we said, you do like a couple of categories, you get a thread. You do a focus, supposed to start and finish, you get a thread. So I've given you room to write down what your focus piece is, who the modmin you want to beat is, how many, if you do the frenzy, how many whips you did, what your strident sal is. So many different options.
Maybe I need this because my problem at the moment is yes, I'm stitching, but then I keep forgetting to post
And that's why I
until
just,
it's like today
yes,
and it's the second and it's like
oops, yeah.
too late.
I yeah, so this keeps you organized. And then I've also listed the 12 category titles for each month so that you can add your letter and write what whip and why you're going to make it
Mhm.
fit. And as you can see from week one, you've got room to put your project you worked on and what your progress was in time or in
Mm.
yeah, and then there's a few note pages at the end. I'm skipping through right to the end because when we get to the end, there's a few more things that come up. As I said, all of this will be available. Oops, there it is. That's where I wanted to go. A couple of pages for those of you who like to write down your new starts when you started them, blah, blah, blah. A couple of pages for the finishes. You might be able to put your FFOs or something in the bottom section. And then I've done a summary page of the Great Aussie Road Trip. So you've got, what your weekly stitch should be for which ride and
So,
reference for the.
so Australia's continuing next year.
Yes, it sure is, because we're
Okay.
going to be landing in Western Australia at the end of this year.
Okay.
And so there you go. So if you're
Very cool.
interested in that, guys, the really cool thing is it's going to be available on Amazon. It's the paperback version is usually about $13 Australian. I'm looking into whether a hardback version. I don't know how much that would be yet, but some people like the hardback so they can flip it open. The paperback one, ends up looking exactly like this.
Oh yeah.
This is this year's version, and it's easy enough to use. So yeah, that's my bit of shameless plug. So Whip Warriors, keep your eye open, or anyone who wants to play along with the Whip Warriors challenges and listens to this video to play along, you might want one too. If you don't want the Whip Warriors though, as I said, the same planner
Yep.
minus the Whip Warrior specific stuff,
Yep.
it's going to be available as well. All right, we better
Very
go,
cool.
and we'll look forward to seeing you stitching. Happy stitching.
Bye.